Hey guys, this is Baby from Plenty of Fish. Welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the Plenty of Fish family, and I hope you will subscribe so you can watch more of my content. Today, I actually, for the first time ever, made a list of plant chores I want to accomplish. However, that doesn't mean I'm gonna get to finish everything today. What I'm gonna do from now on, every time I do one of these Planty Chore vlog style video, is I will make a list of all the chores I want to accomplish by the end of it. I will just tick them off as I go through them. You're gonna see me hopping around the house in different outfits, speaking at different volumes depending on the time of the day, and also different lightings and everything. I think at this point, you figured out that's kind of how I do these Planty Chores vlog. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. I just went back into my bedroom and changed into these long pajama pants because I realized I was showing too much. This is the first chore I want to tackle, which is my Euphorbia white ghost. And I tipped it over. It's a very top heavy plant. And also when I tried to grab it, I stabbed myself. I mean, you know, it poked me. So my Euphorbia white ghost, I just lost a bunch of soil. It has been really happy in here. And due to it being winter, the past few months, it hasn't been requiring much watering at all. I know some people say to leave the cactus in, is Euphorbia? No, Euphorbia white ghost is a succulent, right? Is it? Let me double check. I think I mentioned it myself before. It should be a succulent. Anyway, some people say that you don't need to water them during the winter, or is it only for cactus? I will do my proper research and let the editing baby take over. You don't have to water your cacti during the winter, especially if they're outdoors in the cold weather. However, when it comes to succulent, you're still supposed to water them, just less frequent. Okay, thank you. So let's carry on. It has been very happy in this potting setup that I just lost like 1/3 of the soil off. And you can see these are all the new roots it grew after I got it. Like all over the pot, you know, on the sides, you can see these new root growth. With the Euphorbia, it is not easy to see how much it has grown because they kind of just look the same every time you look at it until one day suddenly you realize, oh my God, you're so big now. The roots growth is actually a very good indicator, which is why I put this initially in the clear pot. However, I'm gonna do something that's kind of counterintuitive in the sense of you want to see the root growth, but you know, you just mentioned how beneficial it is. I want to put it into a terracotta pot because ideally for all my cactus and succulents, I prefer them being in terracotta so that I know they have less chance of getting overwatered. Let me actually get my potting tray, or should I use my potting mat? I have not used my potting mat in a hot minute here. I have been using that same boot tray that that I use as a potting tray because I do like how much more rigid it is than a, you know, a roll-up potting mat. These ones, they save space because you can roll them up. However, they are very soft and it just doesn't really hold the shape very well. And I see, case in point. By the way, I am taking these plants out of this terracotta pot I'm gonna be using for the white ghost. And in this pot, I combined a lipstick plant. Oh, it has some active growth and actually multiple flowers. So it's been growing pretty well, but I'm just very underwhelmed by the flower on this lipstick plant. It has these cool patterns I do like, but I haven't been really enjoying it that much. This is a Beetle Peperomia, a very, very cute plant, but I think I am going to separate them again and figure something out for them. Stop waving them around. So yeah, I really like this, how do I describe it? Very old looking terracotta pot. And I bought it new. This is just the look of it. So I am going to use this for the white ghost, Euphorbia. I'm going to dump out the soil. Oh my goodness, that was a huge chunk of it. Is that? No, that's not dead roots. I was like, wait, do I have any issue with those plants? No. Ah, that's clean enough. Like that. I dumped everything out even all the way to the bottom because for the white ghost, we're using the cacti mix. Let me scoop. Oh, that was dusty. Let me scoop up all of those that I spilled on the floor earlier. Jeez, I probably should be smart and wear my cacti gloves. Am I a little lazy though? What should I do? Should I just grab a towel? Yeah, let's just risk it. Let's just risk it. Okay, please don't bite me. Oh, ooh. Yeah, that's a whole root ball there. Now let me wrap this around. I also don't want to hurt the plant. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Backfilling it. This pot is actually slightly smaller than the clear pot it was in before, which is fine because you saw the size of the root ball. It is still smaller than this pot. Okay, now we can take this off. Yes, nobody got hurt in the process of this repotting. Very good, very good. All right, now let's see. Are you steady enough? So I'm just pressing the soil down a little bit. I don't want to compact it, but these are cacti mix that I even added extra drainage in, so it's not gonna get that compact. So now let's make some, oh! I need to stop being so clumsy. Oh my God, I almost tipped it over again right after I'm done with the repotting. I haven't watered this plant in probably a month now, so I think it's okay to water it. It's always so refreshing and satisfying to water in a new repot because the soil is completely dry and they're very eager to take all the moisture in. Okay. Well, you're looking good. And she and her signature beauty mark is right here. Very happy with this repot. And I feel like she is less top heavy now. Maybe it's because this pot is shorter. I don't know. Okay, you are done. So with this lipstick plant, there's nothing wrong with it. I kind of just, and it's been growing this whole time, never gave me any issue, and trying to show you there's some active new growth in some flowers. There's a fungus gnat. There's a fungus gnat where the camera is.
The fungus gnat?
And okay, let's put this in. Yeah, the fungus gnats has been driving me nuts. I used to use what's it called, the mosquito bits to deal with them. However, during the winter, I don't know if it's because the temperature dropped. The mosquito bit, after I soak them in the water solution, it gets stinky very quickly. And what that means is, you know, all of those little good guys in the mosquito bits, I don't even remember what they're called. If it smells funky after a while, that means all those good guys in the mosquito bits have died. In the winter, it kept on happening, and I don't know if it's because that batch of mosquito bit was just not good anymore or the winter cold temperature killed them. So this cute little guy is gonna go in my shop and go on the grow shelf. I'll put it right here, and after I pot this Beetle Peperomia up, I'm gonna water them together. Now I'm looking at it, it's kind of cute. Look at this green color. Yeah, this is one of those plants. It almost looks like those fake decor plant you see in Target, right? It doesn't even look real. And it's very easy, and it's flowering. And fortunately, this one doesn't have stinky smell. Some Peperomia's flowers stink so much. All of these are good soil, so I'm reusing them. They're actually from the same pot these plants were in. And these are pretty tough plants too. Like you see me just using my hand to shove the soil in, just shove it in. Oh my God. I am so high on coffee right now. I feel like being a mom, you're either high on coffee or surviving on coffee. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. All right, you're done. You look pretty cute. I like this green on terracotta combination. I see why some people like to keep a lot of plants in terracotta. I absolutely understand because they do look pretty nice. So in the end, we are going to be listing one for sale and keeping one. I'm listing the lipstick plant and I am keeping the Beetle Peperomia. All right, I can check up another test. No, I can't check the box because this wasn't on my task list. Do you ever feel that if you don't get to check off a to-do list box, it almost makes you feel like you did nothing? Or is it just me? Sometimes do you make that to-do list just so you can check it off? Only me? Okay, I'll go back to my corner. Repot Sheperdii with more cutting added. Okay. I do have, Sheperdii on my grow shelf for sale next time. And by the way, all of the Sheperdii cuttings are blooming and my own is blooming.
For days after the video, the flower opened.
Every single one of them has peduncle on them. Like this, and they are slowly maturing. A little story about this plant. It was growing unruly, very long, and it was getting very heavy. And then something happened, something weird happened to it when it get to that certain length. The same thing also happened to my lipstick plant, the Mona Lisa, the red flower, the most common one. Both plants suffered the same fate. And they were both like trailing very long and growing very fast. But at some point, the vines got too heavy and then several of the, branches, vines just snapped at the baseline, at the bottom. And then the ones that didn't snap there were this like black section at the bottom. And I think that's the sign that they were about to snap. So that's what happened to my Mona Lisa lipstick plant. And now I no longer have it. She was one of my most beautiful trailing plant. Rest in peace. Anyway, so because the tragedy happened to that one, when I start seeing weird wrinkling right after watering on certain vines, I knew exactly what was happening. And then I inspected and I was right. The same thing was happening. And this time I did not even hesitate to wait. I basically cut up the entire Sheperdii plant, started rerouting all of the cuttings. And that's how I ended up with 1, 2, 3 of these, little planters of Sheperdii in my shop. And I still have my own, which is also very teeny tiny right now, but has the longer vine on it. Yeah, and there are all these cuttings here. So that whole plant was chopped up before it had a chance to snap off on its own, because I feel like when it's time for the vine to snap off on its own, it's already too late to propagate. And in conclusion, I don't know if this is a common thing that happens when the plant gets to a certain length and the branches just get too heavy. And with my logic, I don't think that's normal. So I do not know if there was something I was doing that made the branches very fragile at the base. So, well, I don't know. Like, I guess I will never be able to completely confirm what was the cause of that. But I think the only thing I can say for now is I will be more vigilant, especially when the vining plant gets to a certain length, especially with these type that gets pretty heavy, because Sheperdii has very succulent leaves. The vines get pretty heavy. It has a good weight in your hand when you hold up the vine. Anyway, I'm yapping too much again. Let me check on these cuttings and see if any of them are ready to be potted. I'm going to choose some cuttings to pot into my own Sheperdii and possibly make another little planter of another little 3-inch Sheperdii for my shop. All right. And if the roots are not ready, I'll just put them back. But I have a feeling that they should be pretty rooted. Ooh. Okay. Yep. This is propagation cup number 1. Lots and lots of roots. I mean, they're not crazy rooted, but they're definitely ready to be potted. Okay, these are all shorter 2-leaf cuttings, so I'm gonna save them for that 3-inch pot for my shop. Get a little 3-inch pot and go in there. Save them on the side for now. Okay, there are 2 cuttings in here, both very well rooted, and this one has a cluster of leaves. I think I'm gonna keep this one for myself. So it has 5 leaves on here, and I believe this is a peduncle here. I don't think it's active right now, but I'm definitely keeping this one for myself because I'm selfish like that. I want the good things for myself. And this little 2-leaf cutting will go into 3-inch pot. Next one, everything's looking good so far. I still have 2 more of these cups, and I might double check on that water propagation up there, because at the beginning when I start propagating this plant's cuttings, I wasn't sure which method is better, so I did a few in the water, but majority of them in... There's new growth. There's new growth on this cutting. Oh my God. Okay, I have to show you. Ooh, baby, you are growing. I am so proud of you. How are you able to grow in propagation? Oh no! I just snapped one of the new growth off. Okay. Can you see that little speck there? That's one of the new leaf. Yep, I know I snapped something because they're Hoya milk now. Everywhere. The sap. Oh, that's so sad. You worked so hard on it. I'm so sorry. But you know what? You are gonna be okay. You're gonna be just fine. Here, that's a new growth. And the one next to it was the one I snapped off. I am so dumb. I hate it when this happened, but it's okay. It's okay. It's a very tough little Hoya. It'll grow back. And well, because what I did to this cutting, I am going to keep it for myself. And also, you know, I want to have a chance of redemption. So I'm gonna watch that injured little new growth grow. All right, and this one is looking good too. I am gonna put this into the 3-inch pot. I might make 2 of the 3-inch pot because it seems like I have more rooted cuttings than I expected. And this is just a 1-leaf cutting. Also go into one of the 3-inch pot. This one has something snapped off too. I don't know, there's some like sap coming out of it. I didn't see what happened. Oh, yeah, it's right here. It's, yeah, it doesn't have leaves yet, but it was a piece of new growth that came off. Sorry, dude. Well, because of that, I'm gonna keep you 2. I also really like this cutting because the leaves are this dark color. Some of my Sheperdii leaves were a little light because I think at one period of time they were receiving too much light, so some leaves got kind of bleached. I prefer this plant when they look dark. Okay, let me keep that cutting for myself too. And the last little cup. Ooh, this has a lot of peduncles. Uh-oh. We have a unrooted cutting in here. The first one in a bunch. Not too bad. So this one, wait. Was it in the wrong? Oh my God, of course this is unrooted. The wrong side was in the perlite. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it fell out of the propagation cup one time and I just stuck it back in and didn't realize it was upside down. So I need to pop this back into propagation. Probably put it in the water this time. But yeah, there is a peduncle on this one. And the next 2 cuttings, this rooted cutting has a very nice large peduncle in that really dark leaf color. I'll put this in the pot for sale. Oh, this one's very, very nice. It has 1, 2 peduncles. Shall I keep this one? I think I want to keep this one. Yeah. I'm a selfish little bee. Okay, let's check on the water propagation real quick. And oh yeah, these are some of those longer vines that I cut off. What do I have in here? I have some random Crimson Queen, have a few Hoya Mathilde in here. All right, let me just take everything out and we'll sort through them. Ooh. Well, at first glance, we are looking at a lot of roots. Let me sort through the things that I don't need right now. The Crimson Queen, I can stick this back in. Yeah, I'm not really in the mood to deal with that right. Oh my God. I'll show you what I saw and why I had this reaction. I was just about to say I'm not in the mood to deal with the Crimson Queen cuttings yet, and this Crimson Queen is like, you have to deal with me right now. What the heck is this? Like these huge chunky roots on the Hoya. Oh my God. And also on this side, oh no, it almost looked gross. Okay, it's nothing bad, but there are a lot of activated points for new roots. So this is a weird vine. Well, just because it looks all gross and weird here, all these white specks, I'm gonna put it back in water and see what they're gonna turn into and how rooty this cutting's gonna get. So because of that, I don't think I should stick it back into the small opening vessel. All right, and do I have clean water? I am going to just use my nutrient water this time. It's not a big deal. Usually I just use clean tap water with some prop drops, but I've used my nutrient water, the one I use to water all my plants as well, especially with this one that's already rooted. I don't think it's a problem. Yeah, it sits so nicely in here. I can't wait to see what these roots turn into. Okay, and this one too. Sit here all comfy and cozy and keep growing new roots. But we do need to eat dinner very soon, so this is probably going to be the last task I tackle in this one sitting. So this is my Sheperdii, and yeah, this is all I kept, this little bit. Let me move some stuff out of the way so I can get close enough to show you the peduncles. It also has multiple peduncles, but the one I'm most excited for is this one. Very exciting, very exciting. And we're gonna put those extra cuttings into this plant right now. I actually don't think I need to upgrade the pot size because the root system on these original cuttings were also very small still. So I think to be safe, I'm just gonna put the new cuttings in and put it back into its original pot. Yes, we're playing safe. Mixing the soil. So these few cuttings are the longer cuttings that I initially took on the plant. Okay, how is this flowering? It barely has any roots. Gosh, makes me a little nervous that the flower is gonna just get blasted, you know. But, oh well, everything is okay. You see, this doesn't seem to have any roots. How is it still going? Oh well. I am just gonna trust the process. That one has some roots, just very teeny tiny little roots for such a long vine. Stick them in. Well, since you can't see much of what I'm doing right now, I am going to be talking to keep you entertained. Well, what should I say though? That I have been feeling much better about what I'm doing on my channel after I decided that I am not going to be able to stick to any particular schedule. That's my realization. It's just this stage in my life does not allow that type of commitment, and I don't have that much energy and time on my hand. I think I was biting more than I can chew by thinking I could keep this up. I am a very disciplined type of person. So when it comes to setting goals, I always like to have a very clear goal with a clear schedule, you know, but life as a mom doesn't really allow that a lot of times, especially when your children are still younger at the first, you know, few years of their life. My daughter is 5. She's just gonna start her kindergarten after this summer. And my son is not even 2 yet. In the ideal world, I hope I can keep a steady schedule, keep my promises that, oh, I'm gonna upload on this day, and then, you know, oh, I'm gonna upload this many times a month, but it's just not realistic for me right now. And the guilt that came with not being able to keep those promises made me feel actually less motivated to do the videos, and also made me not enjoy this hobby as much as before. So I was able to refocus myself, to see everything with a new set of mindset, that I am doing this for fun as the #1 reason, and also that the most important thing in my life right now is still to be present for my children and my family. So there's that. End of the yapping, and I'm done with this repotting. Because the soil in the original pot was still a little wet, I'm actually not going to water this right now. Okay, so here's this little plant, and it's done. And I am going to be potting up those 3-inch pots for my shop off camera and go feed my family.
One eternity later.
I'm back again. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is, well, if you watched my previous videos, I don't remember which one exactly, one of the plant chore video, that I have this Hoya Mathilde. And I'm just gonna call it this one Hoya Mathilde Lightly Splashed. Honestly, the more I look into this plant, the more confusing it gets. I have not seen one Hoya Mathilde online that doesn't have any sort of silver speckles on it. So any plants that are listed as Mathilde, they all have silver specks. And some of them are listed as Mathilde Splash, and some are just listed without the word splash. And I've also seen people on YouTube describe them as, this is a Hoya Mathilde with splash, without actually using it as a name. But then there's also a variety called Hoya Mathilde Super Splash. And in those cases is where you will see a lot more silver on the leaf. The reason I bring that up is I do have some good news to report. And that's why we are doing the next chore here. First, let me show you what has happened to this plant. Then I will get to that, get things in order. So a while ago, I noticed there were actually root rot happening with the plant. Glad I checked, and I'm glad I was able to actually save this plant. And there was one vine that did not survive this rescue process and actually died off. All the rest of the vines, even the longest one, like this vine right here, the, you know, the fuller ones up top here, all of them survived and started growing new roots. So these are new roots. These I know are new roots because when I repotted them into this, there were no roots on the side of the clear pot. And also here, come on, here along this groove here, the roots are being sent all over the place. So yeah, some more happening here. So the whole plant is doing very well, and you can tell by all these teeny tiny new growth that's happening on, this one's not focusing, on multiple locations. Sorry, this one's not focusing, but trust me, there's one. And also like right here, that's a set of newer leaves, and on top there's even another new set of leaves ready to come out. Even those have, oh, these two, yeah, these two have not finished like completely size up and harden off. And I think I saw even more like under here, right here. So every single vine is starting to send out new growth, and the longest one here at the end too. Yeah. So I think the rescue was definitely a success. This time I did not do a reroot process in any sort of propagation media. I directly put them right back into a fresh batch of chunky soil to let the roots do its own thing. And I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, because I was hoping for the best result. I was hoping this is what it's gonna do, but at the same time, I am, more so impressed with how resilient this Mathilde is and how quickly it can reestablish the root system in soil directly. So I'm very happy about that. The task we're gonna do today with this plant, you're gonna think I'm crazy, like, can you stop touching this plant, like let it rest for a little bit? Well, it's kind of hard for me. I have this problem that I don't procrastinate with plant chores. This is actually a problem. But plants in my care, they have to actually get used to being handled a lot, because I am always thinking about what is the next plant chore I need to do. Sometimes, yes, maybe I added a necessary task to my list, but I always find a reason to justify it. I mentioned that I was taking, or did I say I was gonna? No, I'm pretty sure I mentioned at some point that I took cuttings from this plant. I took all of those very silver leaves off of this plant. Like you can see, like on the cutting, the original cutting, the silver was still not all over the place. But I'm so glad I did this, because you can see the growth coming out of these cuttings. A way more silver, right? Like this is like 90% covered in silver. But sometimes, this one is silver, very silver. This one has just some light speckle. This is kind of the thing with Mathilde that I'm starting to understand. Like, at least this is my understanding. Oh, a random leca. After watching some other people's video, I've learned that the splash variegation is not very stable. It's never guaranteed that it's going to carry on this variegation forever. Anyway, that's a lot of explanation. And you also might notice that the cutting grown secondary plant here, this has 1, 2, 3, 3 cuttings in there, and they have been growing for a while. So now they look a little bigger than before, but still teeny tiny little plant. The color on these ones, the shade of green, is slightly lighter than my original pot. It's not just because it's against the silver. It's also because this is living in my grow shelf right underneath that super strong grow light that's, lighting the side of my face right now. So when it receives a lot of strong light, the silver is gonna come out much stronger and cover more of the surface. In my experience, if you take a cutting with more silver, like in this case, the new leaves are gonna grow more silver-ish. But at the same time, you sacrifice the dark foliage, the dark green color. And when the plant doesn't receive as much, light directly at it, when it's more of a diffused median lighting situation, then the color stays more dark forest green. I prefer this plant with this green, but this is kind of the trade-off. Do you want silver or do you want the green? In the ideal world, I want these two combined together, these two features combined together. I want the silver on top of the really dark green. In contrast, that would look amazing. Anyway, so today our task is to combine these two plants into one pot. I don't know if we need to upsize the pot. You might think I'm crazy to be like, that's 2 4-inch pots. You're gonna combine them and still keep them in a 4-inch? Well, here is the thing. This one has recently recovered from root rot, so there's not a lot of roots in there. And this is also a cutting grown plant that has been recently potted up together. Oh, maybe you don't know about that. That's been recently, these 3 cuttings has been recently potted together into this 4-inch pot. So they also don't have a huge root system. So I believe, and I think when these two are combined, they will still fit in 1 4-inch pot. Let's see if that is the case. Okay. This crisscross applesauce thing is not working for me. I don't like sitting like that. I like having one leg here, like, ah. If you hate my drinking noise, I'm sorry. If you like it, I guess you like ASMR. Should I start talking like this? Does that feel good? But see, here's the problem with this potting mat. Do you see that? Let me open the front up. If I'm using the other potting tray, then we wouldn't have this problem, will we? Oh, this is the planter I'm going to be using. It's a very, very cute snail. Whee! And, ant. In this house we're living in, we have an ant problem ongoing. It never stops. We have learned to live with them. Okay, now you can see better, right? I think so. This one right here. I'm gonna shove some chunky mix in there to hold the spot. That's one. I personally do like to grow plants in a way where it looks good from one angle. I don't care about the back. I don't care about the back. I don't care for it to look great from all angles because I just wanted to drape like forward like that. Same thing with my alocasias and anthuriums. I'll put in more potting mix in a little bit. Oh, no, don't come out. I had the same issue last time with all these cuttings just do not want to stay in place. See, here are the recovered roots. Looking good. Who repot the same plant within the span of a month? That's just crazy talk. Crazy. Okay. I think I'm okay with all the silvers kind of being on the same side. Yeah, because those silver bits are gonna be shorter for now. If I put them in the front, yeah, it's just kind of a weird situation. I'm just trying to make sure all the roots are secured, and I will let nature take its own course from here and let this plant grow whatever way it wished to grow. You know, the sitting position that's most comfortable to me right now is the least elegant. I guess when you choose houseplant as a hobby, elegance has been out of the picture for a while now, right? My parents must be so proud of me.
A+.
Good thing they're not here to see this right now. Well, they just recently left and went back to China. They've been here to help out with my kids for a long time now. So yeah, it's time for them to take a break. And if you know any Chinese family, you probably know what I'm talking about. Chinese family, the parents are very, very involved in helping with the grandchildren. The Greek family too, my husband's side as well. And I think a lot of different cultures has that in common, like Italian, Hispanic, you know. I think, wow, yeah. Like I said, everything fit in this one pot. Take a quick look. She is looking beautiful. She's made a full comeback with some upgrade, you know, silver upgrade. I have more of these silver splash cuttings that's in propagation, and I plan to keep letting those cuttings grow. And if the Mathilde actually, I believe, grows pretty fast regardless of how much silver you have on there. And with spring coming, I think I'll have a lot of opportunities to take more cuttings off of the silver bits because I do want to grow more Mathilde Super Splash. I don't know if some of you are also into a fish tank. I know at least one subscriber is because they mentioned that they really like the channel name Plenty of Fish. Hi, if you're there, I'm talking about you. I think you know who you are. They really like the channel name Plenty of Fish, and they're also into fish tank. And yeah, like me, I am also into aquascaping, fish tank, all kinds of stuff related to fishies. In the fish tank world, shrimp is a big thing too. Cherry shrimp, Very, very popular, very easy to keep. And the cherry shrimp, the color is red. And there are certain grade of different redness. There are all these names of different grade of how red and opaque the shrimp is. So I brought up that example to say that I think this is the case with the Mathilde splash. It's just a different grade of how much silver it has. You can call it a Mathilde splash, or a Mathilde super splash. We say those words too much. Splash, 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 splash. How fast can you say splash? Yeah, so my intention is to continue grow these vines with a lot of silver and to propagate my own Mathilde super splash. Like I said, we were able to stay in this 4-inch pot and nothing looked too crowded at all. And the plant looks very perky. Let me just quickly water it in. I really like saying this. Water it in. I'm a weirdo. I think this plant is pretty safe now. Like, I'll feel like an idiot if in a few weeks I came back here to film another video update to tell you, oh, this plant died, or oh, there's root rot again, because, you know, I would totally be the person to blame if that were to happen. I don't think it would. I think we're good. I like to do this thing to let as much excess water come out as possible, especially if they're in plastic pots. All right, so this repot is check. Well, it's a sign that I need to go to bedroom because my grow shelf light just turned off. All right, that's it. Time for bed. All right, everybody, sleep tight. Hi, I don't have good framing, I don't have good lighting, but I have to jump in here and do a proper outro because I have to wrap up this video. As I realized, if I include all of the video footage I took when I accomplish all of this long list of Planty Chores, this video is going to probably end up being 2 to 3 hours. And I don't want you to have to suffer through that much of me, so I'm going to break this video into part 1 and part 2. And then I will upload one first and wait maybe 1 or 2 days and upload the other one. So you'll pretty much have 2 videos back to back to watch. The funny thing is, I basically went through a period of time of not even wanting to film at all to going through another different phase where I was on a very, very strong momentum and I was just kind of non-stop filming. Thank you for always being so understanding of me being so chaotic and kind of just testing things on the go to see what works, what doesn't, and hope you still enjoyed today's video and maybe completed a few chores of your own. And I'll see you in part 2 of this video. Bye-bye! Ah, who's here?
Mama.
Hi!
Mama.
Yeah?
Can I eat ice cream?
Yes, you can. She asked for ice cream. Yeah. Mama will come soon, okay? No, Mama's making a video and I'm almost done, okay? All right, okay. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there soon. All right, go eat your ice cream. So cute.